the harder you make it for people to get in your business, the higher quality people you'll have in the business. When you're interviewing people and they come in and they are able to articulate the mission, vision, values of your organization and apply them to something in their life, past life, how they would apply them into your business based on what they've learned, they lose the excuse to go on your payroll and say they didn't know. So if you want to hire better, weed out the people who are already looking for an excuse. And can I tell you that when we ask people to put those presentations together, some quit just because they say, oh, you want me to make a presentation? You haven't even paid me. You're not hiring me. That's an instant out. The ones that show up and do a half-assed job presenting to us when they want a job, then guaranteed they're going to do a half-assed job working for our business owners, working with our clients, our customers, our prospective clients or customers. If they're going to do a half-assed job trying to get a job, then they're guaranteed to do a half-assed job while they're on the job.
So true.
Third thing is this. You get an opportunity to see somebody's presentation skills. You get an opportunity to see how well they can articulate and handle pressure. So Natalie will put the clock to them, 5 minutes. Now, can you imagine if you're crystal clear? Here's what we want you to present. It's only 5 minutes. It shouldn't be longer than 5 minutes. And somebody talks for 20 minutes and never hits on the 6 pieces of data. What's the likelihood they're going to be coachable, teachable, and pay attention at the office? So let me just say this, the harder you make it for people to get in your business, the higher quality people you'll have in the business.
You did an excellent job. That was awesome.
Thank you. I've been working. I practiced. She gave me my script this morning and I've been reading it over and over and over.
You nailed it. 10 out of 10. But everything that he's saying is so true as it relates to this idea that people should take it seriously, that they get the opportunity. Think about it like this. They get the opportunity to work with you and to be on your mission. If you start thinking about the people that you bring into your environment as having the opportunity of a lifetime, first of all, you're going to take yourself and the opportunity more seriously, because just thinking about it's not a job, it's an opportunity. That means that there's upward mobility, there's a potential, there's something in the future that is exciting to them. So if they have the opportunity to work with you, how are they proving that they are a fit prior to you understanding every little nuance that's going to come out from that 8 to 5 work schedule with them? And I find that if somebody is willing to make a presentation to our executive team, like they've got the nerve to handle client complaints, they have the nerve to be able to confront difficult conversations, difficult issues with other employees. And it's a really great test of character when people actually show up to this presentation. I have a feeling, what do you think about this? Most people on this call would be pretty nervous to make a core values presentation to you, me, and our executive team.
Yeah, let's go. Core value presentation.
Like, think about that. You'd be sharing with us for 5 minutes. It's timed. And I'm not saying you guys would like crumble. You guys are 10X owners on this call, so I know you would knock it out of the park. But that is just a different level of seriousness that you're placing on the applicant. And it demonstrates that you really do believe in these things that you are saying look nice on a wall for your core values, but no, they're actually workable inside your environment.
100%. All right. Why don't we do this? I'll take a question. Let's take a question. Dimitri, you've got to be the one to pick them because let's go with Dr. G. Natalie, could you do me a favor and sign those documents?
Totally.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. I can't impress upon the people watching enough. Obviously, I've been working with you guys for a few years now and implementing all of these things. It took us a while to hire the first hire because we were a lot more, protective of our environment is a really good way of saying it. And because we're doing that, we're now attracting some amazing individuals that normally we wouldn't have been able to attract. So I want to say I appreciate the book, appreciate the programs that you guys put out there. The question I have really is, how do you get through so many applicants so quickly? Really? Because we have so many applicants, we're hiring multiple jobs right now. So how do you get?
Yeah, part of that's a good question for a lot of people. You know, part of that is being better at writing the job description.
You block them out. What do you guys do for that?
So it's a good question. and a big piece of that is learning to really get tight about in your job application process or in your posting process. You're better off listing the 3 to 5 things that you really need someone to be an expert at than the 12 things you want them to do. Do you know, when we surveyed thousands of employees and at big companies, when big companies get into turnaround situations, when you survey those employees and you find out, like when you applied here, what were the top 3 to 5 things that grabbed your attention about the job? Then we would go to the head of HR and we'd say, hey, when you hired this person, what was the top 3 to 5 things, the highest value contribution to the organization that you prioritized hiring them? And then you go to the manager and ask, what are the most important elements of this job? And you'd find that the people that applied for the job maybe were good at some of the things and not necessarily good at the others. The managers that are responsible would say, this is really what needs to happen for the job, and people aren't executing at the highest level. Then you go to the HR people. Now, these are big companies where they have all that. And what we found is that there's a huge disconnect between the specific roles and responsibilities and contributions based on the type, the questions they're asking, and then how they're onboarding them, and then letting people kind of fall into what they're good at and not have to do the things that the job requires. And so I would say that you get through a lot of applications by being more clear about what you're trying to hire, the contributions to the organization, the competencies that somebody needs to bring to the organization, the competencies. Did I say that already? Competency.
You're sounding great.
The contribution that they need to deliver to the organization. So the more clear you are and the more concise you are about what you want from an applicant, and the tighter you write those, then the better quality filter you have on the people you're talking to. If you're just like looking for a front office person who can answer the phone and enter chart information and greet our patients and make coffee and unlock the front door and make sure the office is clean, and like that's not a good job description. So you're going to get a lot of applications. But if you're crystal clear about what positions you're hiring for, what those competencies need to be, and those are the things like Natalie said. Then when someone shows up and says, hey, I'm a billing expert, I've been working on billing and receivable for medical practices, in your case, Dr. G, I'd say, great, let's go sit in front of our billing and see, play with it. Let me see what you can understand. Well, we don't use this system. Great, but what system do you use? And how does it compare? And like, the more you can understand attack, if someone's answering the questions, then you know they have competency and they've been doing it. So the clearer and more concise you are, the more precise you are about who you hire. And then a lot of times I'll look at the job descriptions. I'll look at the applications. And Natalie will tell you this. I'll go through, and if somebody's like 4 months here, 6 months there, 9 months there, 3 months there, I'll like throw them out because they've no longevity. And I don't want to have easy in, easy out. So I look for people that are a couple years somewhere. And if they're executives, I kind of like to see 3 to 5 years somewhere. I get people applying for VP positions and they've had 5 jobs in 2 years. And it's like, we just had one where you were like, I think this would be a good applicant. And I looked at it and I said, why were they only at this place for 6 months? And you were like, well, it was a startup that failed. And I said, well, why would they go to a startup that can fail? Like, why weren't they better at picking where they wanted to work? And so, it's just like getting, and then being hard on your questions.